I do want to go over that because I know that a lot of people asked afterwards, like, how can you elaborate on, the fighter, the athlete, the competitor, the artist? Who personifies that, in your opinion, when the people, I'm talking about the people that you've actually coached? Because I can actually run through it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I know Will Brooks is an athlete.
Yeah,
right?
no doubt about it.
I think Dustin Poirier is a fighter.
Yeah, no doubt.
So what do you think, like, from the people that you work with, obviously, like Tyron and Gray and things like that?
Like who can I put in those boxes?
Yeah.
Well, the first thing you gotta understand is that like no one person is just one. And I think sometimes people go, well, what about this person? They're like both. And I go, well, honestly, to be successful, you have to have elements of all of them at some level, or at least 3 or 4. Yeah, you have to, but one will always stand out. One will always stand out. Like you take a guy like Ryan Hall, who's probably the worst athlete in the UFC, but he's probably the best artist in the UFC, which is why he's successful and people are afraid of him.
True.
But so when I look at that, so like in terms of athletes like Will Brooks, pure athlete, Dustin Poirier, Robbie Lawler, fighter, Robbie /athlete, fighter /athlete, artists, like I said, Ryan Hall, some really creatives out there, John Jones, Anderson Silva.
I would give him a hybrid of athlete and artist. Yeah, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying. I would say Walt Harris is probably the most athletic I've coached.
Yeah, Walt Harris, he's an athlete. But the thing is, some trends that you find is like when they're good athletes, they're not the greatest fighters.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so this is in terms of coaching them, you have to understand those dynamics. He's an athlete, so he's probably not going to be a fighter. He's probably going to have to train him to be a competitor.
Okay.
So that's the other one of being a good competitor. Like a guy like Ben Askren is the greatest competitor I've ever seen. Like he just refuses to lose. You have to really beat him. So as a competitor, Ben's a terrible athlete, but he's a great competitor.
Gotcha.
But so when you got like a good athlete, they don't really make the best fighters. So you start hitting on them. So you got to teach them to compete better.
Gotcha.
So like artists tend to be not great competitors because they care more about their art. I think another artist, what's his name? Gunnar Nelson. Yeah. He's a great artist. True. And he said something about like he would rather lose the first round to get more of a read on his opponent.
That's an artist's way.
Yeah. As opposed to just going, all right, I just got to win this round. I got to score this takedown to win this round. He would rather lose the first round to get a better read of his opponent to figure out what he wants. Yeah. So once you understand that about fighters, it's easier to train them and get what you want out of them. But it takes analysis, and you got to pay attention. And that's, what I like to do as a coach.
100%. Like I always give out a personality test, a written test to see what type of individual am I working with? Whether they're, and we can go through it from, a neurotransmitter perspective. Are they acetylcholine? Are they dopamine dominant? Things like that. And if they're dopamine dominant, most likely they have that fighter mentality because it's that fight or flight. They're trying to win at all times. And that's also a competitive mindset too as well. Now, with that being said, like let's say, for instance, I'm an athlete. So when I came into the gym, what did you think of me? What was my category?
Well, at the time I didn't have that, I didn't understand that. I didn't identify that back then. But if I were to look back now and know what I know now looking back then, I would have said, okay, he's probably a fighter athlete.
That's good. I like that. But so then it made sense for me how I trained, because I worked diligently. Maybe made some dumb mistakes, obviously, was sidetracked by other businesses in the beginning, and didn't follow through, and maybe made those mistakes based off of not being focused on one specific thing.
If you are a fighter or someone who wants to start training in MMA, listen up. My name is Phil Daru. I am the head performance coach of American Top Team. I train some of the elite MMA athletes in the world, such as Dustin Poirier, King Mo Lawal, Frankie Edgar, Junior Dos Santos, Edson Barboza, and Joanna Jedrzejczyk. Going to MMA gyms or hiring a personal trainer can get extremely expensive over time. So if you want to get in shape and train using the exact program of the top MMA fighters for an affordable one-time price, check out Fight Ready in the description below.